welcome back to another Monday motivational video where we are going to reset our homes for the week. I hope you guys had a fabulous weekend. I want to say that I apologize that we did not go live on Friday. I forgot to mention that in Sunday's video. We had our grandson's basketball game that evening, and so I decided to do that, and I should have put something on the community tab, and I totally forgot. I was living in the moment. Also, thank you so much for all the love you guys showed me on our bedroom refresh. I am loving it so much. Ernie and I slept so well, and yes, those curtains blocked out the light beautifully, so thank you so much for all the love you guys showed. And I also didn't mention where I got any of the bedding, so let me tell you that since we're in the bedroom. I got it at HomeGoods. So you guys will find out that I get a lot of my things at HomeGoods. I love that store. Everything is pretty unique, and they usually only have 2 or 3, maybe a few more of one item, and it's fabulous. So I got the quilt, the pillows, and everything at HomeGoods. I also got a second set of sheets, the Threshold brand. They're the blue and white floral, which you guys did not see, but you will in the future when I change my sheets. I wanted to have 2 sets of sheets for spring and summer so that while one was washing, I could just put the fresh sheet on, and it just helps me out a lot more. Because I've always had just one set of sheets, so I'm always in that process of waiting for them to wash and dry so I can make my bed again. So this is going to make life a lot easier. This is a speed cleaning video, so we are speeding through the house and getting everything done. The kitchen was quite a mess, so we're going to go ahead and take care of that. I had a sink full of dirty dishes. It was a busy day the day before when we were doing the bedroom, so everything else kind of gets put on hold when you're working on another project, and I wanted to save it for some motivation, so I saved a sink full of dishes for you guys. You're welcome. I wanted to go ahead and read another story for you guys. I have been looking at different stories to deal with different things in my faith, and one of the things that I have a really hard time listening to is God talking to me. I don't know if it's me having a conversation with myself or if it's the Holy Spirit telling me to do things. Sometimes I'm super sure about it, and sometimes I'm not. I feel like this is something that most people can relate to, so I thought I would share it with you guys. So this is by Margaret Agard, and it's called Canning Tomatoes with Jesus. I had a bushel or 2 of tomatoes to can the day before the 2-week trip, and a cash deposit to make. I had no idea how I ended up with $100 in small bills, but I had it, and I wanted it in the bank before I managed to dribble it away on easily forgotten stuff. Considering my day full of tomato canning and the 1-hour drive to the nearest bank and back, I decided the deposit could wait until after I returned from the trip. I was on track for an early bedtime. I love my early bedtimes. Just that one task, or what I thought was my one task. I got to work setting up first the pans, one big one to scald the tomatoes, smaller ones for sterilizing jars and lids, and the monster pressure canner. Then I laid out the bowls, one filled with ice water for dipping and peeling, others for the ready-to-be canned tomatoes, and another for the compost parts. Every stove burner and inch of the countertop was covered. Oh joy, I personally know women who love doing this stuff, and I am not one of them. As I started on the first batch, a thought came to me: go to town. I told myself that I didn't need to go to town. I already decided that. It was only when the thought came the 3rd time that I brightened. Oh, this is God. I'm never sure at first if it's God or just my ADD speaking. So me. Do I have to go now? I asked. No, came the thought. That is God. Go at 5 o'clock tonight. That was hours away, so I settled back into the mind-numbing, repetitious work of tomato canning, dipping, peeling, cutting in quarters, pushing into jars, covering with water, and then popping the filled jars into the canner. As I worked, I kept my eye on the clock, occasionally wondering why God felt this trip to town was necessary. Would I waste the $100 if I didn't deposit it? Did I need that $100 for an upcoming crisis? I tried to time all of the above chores so that I could leave at 5. Except, of course, it didn't really work out perfectly. It was closer to 5:15 when I left with tomatoes to be canned still sitting in one of the baskets. My early bedtime was looking less likely. At least I'd have an hour in the car with air conditioning. Have I also mentioned that our old remodeled farmhouse doesn't have air conditioning? And it was a hot, humid day in July that was made even hotter and more humid in the house by 8 hours of boiling water and pressure canning. No one ever mentioned facts like these in those upbeat Mother Earth News or organic gardening magazine articles. With the air conditioning on high, I headed out to the freeway. Don't know what you have in mind, God, but I'm enjoying the AC break, I thought as I whipped along our familiar curvy mountain road. I hit the freeway, and just short of a mile down the road, I saw a woman walking, carrying a jug of water. Is this why I'm here? To give her a ride? Yes, came the response. Then I felt sad that I hadn't left at exactly 5 p.m. If I had, I would be entering the freeway just as she was walking by my entrance, and I'd have saved her that extra 15 minutes of walking in this heat. It must be nice to be God with all of that omniscience. I pulled over and waited for her to catch up to the car, only she was a he. Usually I can tell the difference even from the back, even if the person does have long blonde hair. Are you sure? I asked God. It'll be fine, came the answer. He got in and looked to be about 20 years old. Where are you headed? To catch up with my friends in Pennsylvania. We were at Rainbow Gathering in the forest in North Carolina, and I ended up in jail. I shot him a look. I shoplifted an energy drink and got 10 days in the county jail. I gave him "you're an idiot" face, one of my worst mothering techniques honed from years of practice. I know, it was stupid. I called after I got out, but my friends were gone. I'll have to get myself home. I've been hitchhiking and walking for 3 days. I haven't had a ride all day. He looked like he hadn't had a ride all day. His face was bright red with sunburn, and the water jug was giving off steam. I can take you as far as the next town. It's 20 miles down the road, and there's a truck stop there. Will that work? He nodded. As I pulled up to the truck stop, the thought came, give him $20. I hesitated. You have plenty, came the thought, give him 20. All right, usually we gave hitchhikers the inexpensive set of scriptures we kept replacing in the door pocket. After asking if it was wanted, of course, most people said yes and looked happy to have them. Hitchhikers for Jesus, but no, not this time. This time it was money. I handed it to him as he got out. It was only after I drove off that this thought came from God. See how much I love that young man? His love flooded my heart for a timeless moment as my soul resonated with that eternal truth. He adores us, even those of us who are idiots. I don't know why he does, but I know he adores us. Of course, later the selfish me kicked in, and I was finally finishing the tomatoes at 11:30 that night, thinking that without the side trip, I'd been in my bed by 10. What about me, I thought. All I ever wanted is plenty of sleep. How about that? Was it worth the sacrifice? Came the question in response. As I considered the question, the love came back. The love of God felt for the wandering young man, the thrill that I got from being the messenger, being the angel to the soul in need, and I knew it was worth it. Later, still bothered for some reason that I had to give up so much time when surely there were others traveling that day who could have picked up that young man, I asked God again, why me? He said, because I knew I could trust you to go. Wow, wow, wow. That was such a good story. Okay, so I just listened to it all over again. I love it. Even just sharing this story with you guys, it's a thought that comes in my head, and I wonder, should I share? Should I not? Should I just put music, keep it upbeat? But I'm being told to share, and so I'm sharing it with you guys. And I think that it's helpful for me to be able to do that because every once in a while I do these things with you guys, and it always proves to be the right thing. and super beneficial for me. So I thought I'd share that with you in case you are just like me and you struggle to hear God speaking to you whenever he speaks to you and you're not sure if you're hearing it, if it's really him or if it's you talking to yourself or what have you. I just feel like it's important to share, and that way more of us are aware of the little voice. That's how I've heard that explained. Many people that I've talked to say that God talks to them. I do remember asking my daughter-in-law one time, how does God speak to you? How do you know it's God? And anybody you ask will tell you they hear it differently. They hear God talk to them differently. Like, do you hear an actual audio voice? That's what I always thought it was. For many, many years, I thought it was an actual voice that I would hear. And some people do hear that. But it's really just it's not your subconscious. You know what I mean? It's actually God talking to you and telling you to do things. So, anyways, I thought I'd share that. I thought it was really special. But anyways, we are just about done getting this house clean. I get a lot of questions about this rug here. This is a Lulu in Georgia jute rug, and we were so fortunate. We picked this up at a consignment store for, I think we paid $300 or $350. And when I got home, I looked it up online. They still sell it. And it is, I think, a $1,500, $11 or $1,500. I haven't looked at it in a while. Dollar rug. It's rather large. So we scored big time getting it on consignment, and I do love it. The only thing, I love the look of it. The only thing I will say about it is it sheds. So when the grandkids are playing on the floor, they always come up off of it with fibers all over their clothes. I put my feet on the coffee table when watching TV, so after I've walked on the carpet with my socks, the fibers fall on the coffee table. So it's kind of a messy rug, and just keep that in mind. I got laundry started, and I definitely am getting the laundry finished today. I don't take you guys on the whole tour of that, but I got it all done today because that's what I like to do on Mondays. I like to get my laundry done for the week. And I don't, have a lot of laundry unless I'm washing bedding and all that kind of stuff. And today I was washing bedding. I was taking everything before I put it away. I like to make sure to get it washed. The comforter and all that kind of stuff, I'll just throw in the dryer. I don't have any dryer sheets, but dryer sheets work wonders if you're just freshening something up. You throw it in the dryer with the dryer sheet, and your bedding or comforters and that kind of thing, like even your down or faux down, any kind of comforter, you refluff it that way with the dryer sheet, and it's wonderful. But I don't use dryer sheets anymore. I use the beads. There's so many people out there that tell you not to use this, use that, use this, don't use that. I just use what I like to use. But dryer sheets are so handy for so many different things too. So kind of miss them. One of the girlfriends that I had many years ago would hang them in her bathroom in an inconspicuous, place in her bathroom. And her bathroom always smelled so fresh and wonderful. So that's a trick you could do. If you have dryer sheets, you can always hang one in your bathroom behind the mirror or something like that. She just hung hers on the wall. She didn't care, but it definitely adds a fresh scent to your bathroom. Okay, now we're going to get the floors mopped. I didn't mop the bedroom when I did it. I told you guys I was tired, but I knew that I was going to be mopping the floor, the whole house downstairs. So I was okay with not mopping it when I did the deep clean. So here we are, mopping the floor, the final thing that I needed to do for the deep clean in this bedroom. And we're going to get the whole house mopped. It was exhausting, and I was tired and sweaty when I was done. I hate mopping the floor, but it needs to be done, and I'm the one that gets it done. Ernie actually sometimes will mop for me. If he's home and I've been cleaning all day, he sometimes will mop the floor. He was actually home on this day, and he was mowing the lawn. So the first lawn mow of the season, he got it mowed and edged and looking good because it's starting to grow again. And so he wanted to get it mowed down so that it was nice and fresh when it started to grow up and when we get those sprinklers turned on, which I think we're going to be doing in a couple of weeks here. I mentioned over the weekend we had a couple of 20-degree nights, so not quite ready yet for that, but I think we're just about ready to get those sprinklers turned on, and everything will just start growing. The trees all over Tennessee are starting to leaf out, and I am so excited I'm here for it, except for the allergies, but I'm here for it. I'm here for all of the green. I'm so excited to see it all. It's just spring and fall are my two favorite seasons here in Tennessee. I love it so much. I mentioned in the last video before, I love all of the things. Spring, because the weather is not super hot. I like summer too, but only the beginning of summer here. But spring, it's when people are having bonfires and, days are longer, people are barbecuing, and it's just the neighborhood comes alive. And you really feel that in places where people were cooped up for the winter. You really feel that. I mean, everybody really, spring fever is a thing. And I've only heard that when I lived in California, but now I know what it means. It's a real thing when you live someplace that has an actual winter. That is going to do it. The house is reset. I hope you guys are motivated to get your home reset for the week. I appreciate you guys staying till the end. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Even if you're shy, an emoji works. I appreciate it. It helps my video out so much. Thanks so much, guys, and we will see you in the next video. Bye!